And we are live at Shadow Hills High School, end of the first quarter here for their first round of the playoffs, playing against the Hemet Bulldogs. The score right now are the Bulldogs are ahead 17-12. Very back and forth game so far. Leading the way for the Knights is Dominic Escobar. He has, it looks like he's got 6 points here, 1 rebound. They are doing a good job at double teaming him when he is in the low post. For the Knights, rebounding wise, Shipley is on the boards with 3, and for the Bulldogs, Tyler Miller is leading the way for Hemet. So look for the Knights to do a better job at defending him. And off the bench, Cord Stansberry Fearless coming in and stuffing the stats right away. And we are back with some action. We'll be back at halftime. Are live at Shadow Hills High School at the end of the half here with the score 29-21. The Shadow Hills Knights are indeed ahead of the Hemet Bulldogs. Leading the way still is Dominic Escobar. Deontay Strange with a strong second quarter there and a flurry of rebounds and good defensive play by the Knights, holding the Hemet Bulldogs to only a few points that entire quarter. Very back and forth game. One of the things I have noticed that is happening quite a bit is a lot of travel calls. We are getting a lot of travel calls on both sides, and that seems to me to tell me that these refs are really holding this game tight and calling it like a true playoff game. So if these teams want to keep possession and not lose on ticky-tack turnovers like travels, then they will have to really focus on that. Coming up, we are going to recap the scores also and make sure that we have all the correct points and rebounds and all that for you. So we will be right back at this halftime playoff showdown. And we are back at Shadow Hills High School, and we are live here for their playoff game. It is halftime right now with the score Shadow Hills Knights 29, the Hemet Bulldogs 21. Leading the way for the Knights is Dominic Escobar. He has 10 points, 2 rebounds. Deontay Strange has 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. Jake Shipley grabbing all the boards he can. He has 6 rebounds. Jacob Ogg doing his thing, leading the way for his team. 3 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. The key to this game is going to be the defense and the stifling defense of the Shadow Hills Knights, getting into those passing lanes and really just making the Hemet Bulldogs uncomfortable. I think that's what the biggest takeaway from the first half is that the Hemet Bulldogs just couldn't get comfortable in their offensive setting, and then defensively looked out of whack a bit. And so we look to see if Shadow Hills can capitalize on that. Look to see them try to get some more transition points if they can, and attack the basket, dribble drive, penetrate by Escobar, a little bit by Abog and Strange, and kick to the shooters of Stansberry, Osgood, and hopefully they can come out with a victory. And we will be back at the end of the third quarter. way to finish the third quarter. A triple by the Shadow Hills Knights right off of the inbounds with 5 seconds left. That gives them a lead of 49-26 over the Hemet Bulldogs in this playoff matchup. And what a game it is. And the theme for this game is truly defense. The Shadow Hills Knights look just way more prepared. Their defense is just stemming the Hemet Bulldogs, and it is just a one-sided affair at this point. The Bulldogs are taking bad shots, and the Shadow Hills Knights are forcing them to do what they want them to do offensively and defensively. So let's see if the Shadow Hills Knights can close out this first round matchup here in the final quarter with the score 49-26. Haven't been in any foul trouble either throughout this entire game. And so we are going to start this fourth quarter here. We will give you some post game after this. Our final score here. We are live at Shadow Hills High School for this post-game report for this 4-2A matchup, and it looks like that the Shadow Hills Knights did take care of business this evening, 65-37 on the backs of some great shooting and huge defensive stops all over the place. The Hemet Bulldogs just couldn't get anything done on the offensive end, and it looked like that the 3-ball was the deadly ball for the Hemet Bulldogs on the defensive end. And some of the standouts for the game this evening, Deontay Strange was all over the court, assisting on many plays, had tons of points, and a big senior leadership from Jake Abog with a bunch of clutch triples and keeping his team in the ball game all the way through, and it was really no contest. Once the third quarter got going, Shadow Hills was able to do whatever they wanted to do with that basketball, and defensively just making it just a rough go for the Hemet Bulldogs. And when the Bulldogs did get a chance to score some points, it was on difficult shots, lots of mid-range jumpers, a lot of contested threes, and a lot of contested layups around the basket. And that proved to be the key for the Shadow Hills Knights this evening. We are going to have some of them on, give us their feedback of the game. And so when we come back, we will have a couple of the players to interview. I'm here with point guard Jake Abawag, senior for the Shadow Hills Knights, with a big win tonight in the first round of the playoffs. Jake, talk about those big three-pointers you had in the corner that really looked like that's what boosted your team and gave you guys an edge over the Hemet Bulldogs.
My coach has really inspired me to be a shooter, and I've always been a little nervous and scared to shoot my shots, but my coach has put in a good word for me and brought my confidence up. Right,
yes, and I see you pretty much are the senior leader that helps keep the team together. I see you getting rebounds, assists, and all that. Talk about how you guys played defensively against the Bulldogs.
We really emphasize defense on this team. We know that we can't win any games without defense, and just the energy that we have and the passion that we have for the game is just incredible, and that helps us get the win.
Absolutely, and that'll be huge going into the next round. My final question for you: what'd you have for breakfast today?
For breakfast, I had some cereal.
What kind of cereal?
O's, Clahs. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, we got to keep it rolling, right? You get the win, you got to keep eating it.
Always.
Jake, thank you so much and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I am here with guard Deontay Strange. Deontay, huge win tonight. What was the biggest factor in the win?
We just came out with energy. We had to play defense because without defense we can't win the game. Right. So it's just
defensively, I mean, you guys were all over the place, creating a lot of turnovers. Especially, you made them travel a lot. Why do you think that is?
Well, because they really we just had to apply pressure with them, and so that was just like the biggest thing. That's what forced them all the travels and stuff.
Awesome. And then offensively, you guys were able to shoot pretty well, get to the basket, and get a lot of open threes. What do you think is the key for you guys offensively to get open?
Offensively, we just have to stay patient and just look for the good shots. We don't want to force anything. So
absolutely. And you guys made a lot of good shots. My last question to you today is, did you make your bed?
No, I didn't make my bed.
What? You didn't make your bed?
I didn't make my bed.
Come on,
to be honest,
man.
dude, I don't ever make my bed.
Dang. Dang, ruthless. I see,
Yep.
DeAndre. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm with head coach Ryan Towner. Ryan, huge win tonight for your Shadow Hills Knights in the first round. Biggest takeaway for me was defense, defense, defense. How do you think you guys played defensively?
Great. I mean, that's what we emphasize on every day at our practices is just defense. Our defense is going to lead to successful offense, and we started off a little sluggish. We let them make a run, called a timeout. Got in the boys, and then from there we ended up going on a 17-4 run, and we never looked back from there. So our defense was where it needed to be tonight. Yeah, that second and third quarter were huge for you guys, and you guys made a lot of big three-pointers. What was the cause for you guys to make those big shots? It's funny because my guys I give them a certain rule when it comes to three-pointers, and so if you shoot it, you better make it. If not, you better get to the rim. And so they started seeing it go in. The confidence comes up and starts to build up. And so it was no looking back from there. So, yeah. And that was huge because Jake just said that he's kind of afraid to shoot, and you give him the confidence. Go ahead and take those open shots if you had them. And if they're going in, that's going to be big for you guys. One last thing, I did notice that you did get some guys some experience in that playoff game. And number 2, I don't think I know his name. Elijah just comes in and hits the big three-pointer in the corner in the first half, and then to finish off one of the quarters hits the three-pointer off the inbounds play. How big is it to get these guys experience? Big. Actually, Elijah's our best three-point shooter on the team. He's a sophomore right now. I mean, even when we played a couple league games, he hit, I think, 4 threes in a row that actually helped us win a game. But all of my guys stay ready. I was just telling somebody that our practices are a lot harder. Every little mistake you make at practice, you're doing push-ups, you're running for it. So when they come out here, they have freedom. They know that I can't make them do push-ups during the game. Right. So Elijah comes out here and just hits big threes. That's his role. So we're trying to get him ready because he's going to help us out in the stretch. And that's going to be huge for you guys. And I feel something. I'm not going to say anything, but I feel there's something special about this team, and and you guys have a really good chemistry. Coach, thank you so much, and congratulations. We appreciate you. Thanks for coming out. Thank you. All right.